Welcome back to Redneck Gardner. We are finishing up the process of salsa. We're gonna turn this camera around real quick and show you our process of making salsa. Thank you very much. All right, y'all, we got the salsa here. We already made up all these jars. We put the jars in the blender like that. And then from there, we all blend it up and turn it into delicious restaurant style salsa. We are now putting on the lids to these lovely salsa jars. We just want them hand tight for this process because they got to do something called venting. They hiss and pop and then they seal. Yep, that's how we do it. All right, folks, for the salsa, you gotta do this canner just a little bit different. You're gonna fill the water up to there, so it's over the jars, but you have to boil the water first. So we're gonna turn on this fancy hose. We're gonna fill that canner up. So now we got the hose on. We are going to fill that canner up. All right, now we're almost completely full to where we want it, to make sure the water is over the jars at all times. You want to fill it just a little bit over that line because you're going to lose some during the boiling process. Now we've got our pot on there. We got to turn on the propane tank. Our trusted friends of Valley Wide. And then we're going to light this. It's on. I'll turn the heat up. Get boiling faster. And there we go. There we go, folks. Now it is boiling. Now it's boiling. We can put this in. All right. I'm gonna drop this gently in. Hopefully don't scald my hand. We're gonna overfill. Yep. It's gonna go overboard. So now it's in, we need it in there for 30 minutes. Now we're gonna wait for about 30 minutes until it stops boiling. Don't know why that one rose up. That's interesting. All right, about 30 minutes. Okay, we got about 15 more minutes of this boiling. Well, look at all that steam coming off. I'm making a mess in my garage. That's what happens when you overfill. So when you overfill, you gotta be a little bit cautious because you can burn your hands when dipping it in. And I made an oops. I'll show you the oops. See that? That's not supposed to be like that. That's kind of a bit of the salsa spilled out because when I set it in, it wasn't all the way down and I kind of broke a jar. I'll show you that jar in a minute and what happens when you don't gently put it in your water. You got to make sure you have just enough to cover the tops, but not enough to burn your hands. Because what happened is it filled it all when I set the jars in. Went all the way to the tippy top and about scalded my hands. So here I'll show you the jar here in a minute. All right, folks, see how it broke the bottom? That is how, what not to do. Do not drop your jars into the boil bath. They will break. I made that mistake because I overfilled the canner. Make sure you do not overfill the canner because for salsa, it's got to be boiling first before you put the cans in. So you want to make sure that you're not going to overfill the canner. So be careful when you're doing this. All right, folks, now it's time for extraction. I'm going to be extracting these and putting them up on here, and hopefully they'll seal properly. There's 7 cans here we'll be doing, and we'll be replacing all 7 cans. like that. All right, y'all. So now we got our 6 jars. There's supposed to be 7. Now we got our 6 jars out of that water bath. They're supposed to sit undisturbed for about 24 hours. Means no touchy touch. Okay. Thank y'all for joining me, the Redneck Gardner, in this process in canning salsa. Hope this was educational, informal, and fun for y'all, as it was fun for us. Thank you very much. Have a good night, y'all. Merc.